He's Bill Walton calling the game tonight with Jim Gray on part of the group with the Westwood One tonight. What's going on, Bill? How are you?
I'm having the time of my life.
I bet you are.
Nothing more that I love in life, Rich, is being on your show and talking about the moment before the moment of truth. When it all tips off tonight, we're going to have the call on Westwood One Radio. Howard Deneroff, just incredible. Jim Gray, the guy that has given me my life, who has saved my life. We're going to just be covering everything. And to see these young players, you know, as you get to the point in life where I am, where I'm old, in the way, fat, bald, everything's just, you know, devolving down into worlds of negativity and cynicism and bitterness and jealousy and all the things that tear apart life, like lack of honor and selfishness and greed and anger and hatred, to be with all these young people who are chasing their dreams and building their lives. It's a fantastic presentation over here at the Final Four in Phoenix. Why don't they have it here every year? I mean, it is so nice here. It's beautiful with all the rains that we've had in the Southwest this year. The Sonoran Desert has never been more beautiful. Michael Crow, the president of Arizona State University, just over the top in everything he does in creating the new American university and the future of our world. Doug Tamaro, the SID, they're at ASU. They're the host school. They're just putting on a fabulous Final Four. We're having the time of our life, and these great teams, very similar teams, Rich. And so to be able to be a part of it, I grew up in the world of radio. Little Billy from San Diego.
Yeah?
We didn't have any money in our family. I'm not like Jim Gray. I did not grow up with a silver spoon. Right. So we didn't have a TV. We couldn't afford one, but I had a radio. I had the newspaper. My mom was our town's librarian, so an endless string of books every single day, right? And so to listen to Chick Hearn, to listen to the calls, and this guy who's calling the game, the play-by-play, Kevin Kugler, is just absolutely spectacular. And I was sitting there right behind him on Saturday night, and his description of the action and just flawless and perfect. Now, I'm a lifelong stutterer. My greatest challenges in life have been my orthopedic health and my speech impediment. I mean, basketball, academics, that was a piece of cake for me. But learning how to speak, my greatest accomplishment ever, and everybody else's worst nightmare. But to listen to this guy call the game, and I grew up with Chick Hearn. And Chick Hearn, he would have the bird's eye view high above the western sideline. And I could sit there and I could see the action just from listening to the description. And that's what I get from Kevin Kugler. And his accuracy, his speed, it's just absolutely brilliant. And I am just so proud, honored, and humbled to be a part of the great Westwood One team with Howard Deneroff, our phenomenal broadcast.
Bill, I could listen to your stream of consciousness all day long.
Yeah, but you only have a little bit of time.
No. And I would want to talk about this game and X's and O's or your memories or there's so many different ways I want to go with this.
Whatever you want to talk about is fine. It's your show, Rich.
No, but Bill, I have to ask, how did Jim Gray save your life? How did that happen?
9 years ago when my spine failed. I was born with bad feet. I have a bad foundation.
Right.
Tore up my knee, crooked leg. My spine absolutely collapsed and failed 9 years ago, and I had nothing. I was on the ground and couldn't move. And Jim Gray, who I've worked with literally my entire life in the field of professional speaking and everything, Jim Gray, he found my spine surgeon, Steve Garfin at UC San Diego Health System in San Diego.
No kidding.
Jim Gray, he found NuVasive, the medical device and spine technology company that has come up with the equipment, the technology, the devices, and the procedures to keep someone like me alive and giving me another chance. 9 years ago when it failed, I lost everything, Rich. And it was the worst thing that ever happened. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. I didn't think I was going to make it. My life was not worth living. I was going to kill myself. If I had a gun, I would have used it. But Jim called every single day, said, Bill, don't give up. You can make it. Jim showed up whenever he possibly could. He did everything he could to keep me thinking that I still had a chance, even though I had already given up. But today, I have everything. Today, I have no pain. I take no medication. I'm happy in love with the greatest woman in the history of the world, Lori. And we're over here in Phoenix today, and I'm with Jim Gray, and I have a chance to learn one more time from this true saint of circumstance, this tiger in a trance, this guy who has just given so much to make my life better. He's always been there for me, and I just would do anything to help that guy in life.
Wow.
He has put me in this position where today, Rich, I am busier than ever. I am happier than ever, and I haven't been this healthy since I was 13 years old.
Well,
None of that would be true if it weren't for my friend Jim Gray. Bob Dylan wrote a song. Bob Dylan, who just got the Nobel Prize for Literature on his terms. Bob Dylan wrote a song about Jim Gray. It's titled "With God on Your Side."
Man, oh man. What is your favorite Dead song, Bill? If you got to choose one, which one?
Even though I work for ESPN, which I love, and I'm just honored and privileged to do that, I don't live in that culture of everything having to be ranked, rated, or compared.
I love it.
Because all these young people coming up, everything has to be the best, and that kind of takes the worst, right? What's the top five? I mean, that's not me. I just enjoy, and I love, and I try to immerse myself in the positive aspects of life. And when I think of the Grateful Dead, you ask me what's the favorite, it's all one song. It's all one line. I've been on tour for 50 years, and we're going to go out on tour again this year. We've got the Final Four now. We've got a ton of business lined up all spring. We've got the Amgen Tour of California on my bike throughout the state of California. And then we're going on tour with the Grateful Dead, Las Vegas, Phoenix, 2 nights at the Hollywood Bowl, 2 nights at Shoreline, Salt Lake City, 2 nights Folsom Field in Boulder, high in the Rockies. Yeah, let's go. And then we'll be out there. When the band goes east, we're going to come back to Southern California and catch our breath and get going again. It's going to be fantastic. All the musicians. I'm sad, Rich, in that they have not announced a new desert trip for next fall, because what we did last year at Desert Trip out there in Coachella, that was so over the top. Bob Dylan, Rolling Stones, Neil Young, Paul McCartney, The Who, and Roger Waters. We're going to be out with Roger this summer. He's got to play 45 dates or so throughout North America, and we're going to try to get to as many of those as we can. And John Fogerty's still out there playing. We can't wait for Jimmy Cliff to come back. Jackson Brown, Tom Petty's got his tour. It's going to be our goal. Last year was the greatest year of my life. In every quantifiable measure that you could possibly think of. Business, love, music, family, everything. Our goal, our challenge, is to make this year even better.
Well, sure.
And I've got Jim Gray on my side to help make it happen.
And your son, and you do, and your son's a coach in the NBA, and life
but
is...
they lose every game. And I'm a proud dad, and I want what's best for Luke. And Magic, we love Magic.
Right.
Pelinka, the new management team over there in the direction of the Lakers. And the Lakers are the most popular franchise in the history of basketball, and everybody loves them. Everybody loves him because of Chick Hearn, who was the greatest broadcaster ever. And he just created this culture of, Lakers, California, let's go. And the expansion, what Jerry Buss did, the greatest owner in the history of sports, what he did business-wise, including expand the Laker network to places like Las Vegas, Phoenix, the whole Central Valley of California, San Diego, Hawaii, was just generated this phenomenal fan base. I mean, I'm a Southern California native. There are 32 million people in Southern California from Santa Barbara south, and every one of them is a Laker fan because of Chick Hearn, and because we're all stuck on the freeways all the time, right? You find Chick on the radio, and God rest his soul. God help America here, because here was Chick's voice that just, he soothed you. He eased you into the game, and then
he's the greatest.
That description of what was happening, where it was better without watching, because then you could think and you could dream, and the vivid imagination that he was able to deliver and give to us personally. We were all his individual best friends. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Real quick, Bill, do you think Lonzo Ball would fit with your son?
I love Lonzo's game. He did not finish the season strong, but Lonzo has the chance to be the next great player. But he got pounded by Arizona in the Conference of Champions tourney up in Las Vegas, and he got pounded by Kentucky and Fox back there in Memphis in the NCAA tournament, and that's not a good sign. And so Magic, who was sitting right there at that Kentucky game, I mean, he saw it right there. And I hope Lonzo's healthy. He's a wonderful human being, a phenomenal player. he is in that class, for me, Bill Russell, Magic, and Steve Nash, guys who just play the entire game to make the other guys better and to win the games. And I've never seen Lonzo make a selfish or individual play. I've always seen nothing but class, dignity, professionalism. He's all right there. But in that game against Kentucky, Fox was such a spectacular player. And, and that's the challenge. And, you look at the guys who are the most successful in history. Danny Ainge is doing a great job right now. But in history, it's been always Jerry West and the San Antonio Spurs. So you have to talk to those guys as to who was going to be the guy who Magic would take in rebuilding the Lakers and getting them back on top, because you can, no matter who's coaching the team, you've got to have great players. And, the Lakers have always had those great players, those transcendent, transformational players who just can change everything, the way the game's played. And look what Lonzo did this year for UCLA. I mean, he put them right back on center stage. It was phenomenal.
No doubt about it.
So much fun. I just watch him, I always go, oh, my gosh, I can't believe that play. And it just comes on an endless string, the stream of consciousness that
Hey, Bill, thanks for calling. I've got to run, but I noticed a couple of Southern California.
Have a wonderful, spectacular championship day.
You too.
We are celebrating the moment before the moment of truth, and I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I've got Jim Gray and God on my side.
Chat soon. Bill Walton.
Thank you.
You bet. If the mic on my desk was not attached, I would drop it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.